What does it take to become India's next man in space? From flying fighter jets to piloting a SpaceX spacecraft, meet the man chosen to represent India among the stars, Shubhanshu Shukla. Early life and education. Born in Lucknow on the 10th of October 1985, Shubhanshu's journey began like any ordinary boy, but his dream was anything but ordinary. Inspired by stories of the Kargil War, at just age 16, he left home to chase the dream of joining the National Defense Academy. He graduated with BSc in Computer Science from the National Defense Academy in 2005 and was commissioned into the IAF in June 2006. He also holds an M.Tech in Aerospace Engineering from IISc Bangalore. By 21, he was flying combat aircraft. A seasoned test pilot and fighter combat leader, Shukla has logged over 2,000 flight hours on aircraft such as the Su-30 MKI, MiG-21, MiG-29, Jaguar, Hawk, Dornier, and An-32. In 2019, his life changed forever. He became group captain in the Indian Air Force and one of the 4 Vyomanauts, selected as one of India's first astronauts for the Gaganyaan mission. Key milestones: ISRO selection and training. Joined ISRO's astronaut training in 2019 through the Institute of Aerospace Medicine. Underwent basic training at Russia's Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center, and later advanced training in Bengaluru. Holds an M.Tech in Aerospace Engineering from IISc Bangalore. Gaganyaan mission, officially as as one of the 4 astronauts in February 2024. Chosen to fly on India's first crewed space mission to low Earth orbit, Axiom Mission 4, selected as the pilot for Axiom Space's commercial mission to the International Space Station, slated for spring 2025. As part of the crew, along with Peggy Whitson, USA, Slavoj Buznansky, Poland, and Tibor Kapu, Hungary, he will become the first Indian astronaut aboard the ISS and the second Indian in space, following Rakesh Sharma in 1984. Personal insights. Shubhanshu Shukla is known by his nickname Shucks among friends and affectionately called Gunjan at home. He is born to father Shambhu Dayal Shukla, a retired joint secretary with UP government, and mother Asha Shukla, who is a homemaker. Shubhanshu Shukla is the youngest of 3 siblings. Sisters Nidhi, who is an MBA, and Suchi is a teacher by profession. Shubhanshu is married to Dr. Kamna Shubhanshu Shukla, a dentist from Lucknow, since around 2009. They have a son aged about 4 to 6 years old. Known for strong discipline and physical fitness, hobbies include astrophotography and reading science. His dramatic decision at age 16 to leave home to sit for the NDA exam reflects his drive and independence. Upcoming mission and significance. AX-4 mission, launch scheduled no earlier than spring 2025, aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 using the Crew Dragon spacecraft from Kennedy Space Center. The 14-day mission will see Shukla pilot the spacecraft, conduct international scientific research, and foster educational outreach, which are critical experiences for NASA, ISRO Axiom cooperation, and India's own Gaganyaan mission. Although delayed due to technical issues such as a liquid oxygen leak and adverse weather, highlighting the complexity and rigorous safety standards of spaceflight. Mission will be launched no later than spring 2025. Mission has an historical impact, as this ISS mission will make Shubhanshu Shukla the first Indian to live and work on board the station, and the second Indian to travel to space. This will inspire millions and pave the way for future indigenous human space missions. Training journey of Shubhanshu Shukla. 1. Initial selection and background. In 2019, Shubhanshu was one of the 4 Indian Air Force pilots selected by ISRO for the Gaganyaan mission, India's first crewed spaceflight. The selection process involved intense physical, psychological, and technical assessments. All 4 were already seasoned test pilots with strong academic and operational credentials. 2. Training at the Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center, Russia, 2020 to 2021. Training began at Star City, Russia, under a bilateral agreement between ISRO and Roscosmos. Duration of the training was 13 months. Key components of Russian training included physical endurance tests involve centrifuge simulations, weightlessness exposure via parabolic flights. Survival training involves Arctic winter and wilderness survival, including how to survive crash landings in remote terrains. Space systems and spacecraft familiarization involve using Soyuz modules to simulate orbital procedures and emergency scenarios. Zero-gravity exercises to adapt to floating and maneuvering in microgravity. 3. Advanced training in India, 2022 to 2023. Upon returning from Russia, Shubhanshu continued training at the Institute of Aerospace Medicine, IAM, in Bengaluru. Advanced modules included ISRO's Human Spaceflight Module, HSM simulations. Spacesuit training includes wearing pressurized suits and practicing ingress-egress from modules. Crew resource management training emphasizes teamwork, communication, and decision-making under pressure. Medical and life support training involves handling emergencies, CPR in microgravity, use of biomedical sensors. 4. Mission-specific training for Axiom 4, 2025. Shubhanshu joined Axiom Space's AX-4 mission as the pilot, marking a shift to international commercial spaceflight collaboration. He trained at NASA's Johnson Space Center and Axiom's Houston facilities on specialized SpaceX Crew Dragon training for manual piloting and emergency override controls, docking with the International Space Station, ISS. Use of touchscreen flight control panels, which are unique to the Crew Dragon, and ISS systems familiarization on living and working on board with habitat systems, toilets, airlock usage, scientific payload handling, and experimental protocols. 5. Additional training on cultural, psychological, and public engagement preparation for cross-cultural communication, especially for long missions with international teams, trained for media briefings, public outreach, and scientific communication. Shubhanshu Shukla is the first Indian astronaut trained in a hybrid international pathway, Russian plus Indian plus American systems. Shubhanshu will be the first Indian to operate the Crew Dragon spacecraft. Shubhanshu has been prepared not just for one mission, ISS, but also as a lead candidate for India's Gaganyaan mission, which requires deep versatility. He's not just a pilot. He is a symbol of what India's space future looks like and inspire a billion dreams.